And good evening. Welcome to the first edition of the CBS Evening News. I'm Michael Roberts, live from New York. Thank you for joining me here live from our brand new CBS Evening News studios here live from New York. Thank you for joining me. We have a action-packed news evening for you all, so thank you for joining us here on the CBS Evening News. We hope you liked our brand new digs tonight. We do hope that you all enjoyed. I mean, it's a great studio here in New York. We really enjoy the studio, so thank you all so much for watching. But we do have a breaking news report to go ahead and get into this evening regarding the Texas abortion law. GoDaddy has sent out a statement to a pro-life website that they will no longer host the website because it violates the site's terms of service, section 5.2, which reads, "You will not collect or harvest or permit anyone else to collect or harvest any user content as defined below, or any non-public or personally identifiable information about another user or any other user or entity without their expression or knowledge prior consent." But again, this has been a issue that's been brewing all week, and I just want to throw this up on your screen, please. I think the control room is already doing that. And again, protests have been going on in Texas all week regarding the abortion ban, that Texas has banned abortions after 6 weeks. I mean, this has just been going on for the past couple days now, and this has been a debate that's been brewing for the last week or so. This is pictures that we're taking today outside of the Texas Capitol building in Austin. It's been a mad chaos, really. Streets have been blocked during the day. There have been some protests going into the evening. So like I said, this is a very big story. Like I said, that is brewing right now in Texas. But then again, it's a very interesting story, to say the least. But I don't know. It's really something. But we are definitely watching this story for all that's going on, and we're definitely going to be watching it for you here on CBS. But then again, we haven't heard anything from GoDaddy exactly why they've cut it. I mean, the abortion site has been under siege for the past few days, and we're going to be talking to Zarda Vex about this whole Texas abortion thing after the break here. But like I said, angry protesters again are angry, and they've been flooding it with fake tips. I mean, they've been angry with Governor Greg Abbott, but like I said, I mean, this has been a very situation that's been brewing for the past couple days now. And the Supreme Court said they will not infringe on state rights, they will not infringe on this, they will not intervene in this whole Texas abortion problem. As you know, Clarence Thomas, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett has said they will respect states' rights in this case, which I do perfectly agree with them in this case, because this is a state's right to restrict it. This is not against Roe v. Wade, as many would argue, but I mean, this is again limiting abortion to before 6 weeks, and many people do not know that they're pregnant before 6 weeks. So this is again kind of a crisis going on here. But the same people you saw protesting in June are pretty much the same people that are protesting this weekend, are going to be out there this weekend, going to be out there for the rest of the week, protesting for abortion rights. And there's been many pro-life groups that's been out there as well as counter-protesting outside the Capitol building as well. So like I said, a very, really interesting story going on here in Texas, and it's going to be one that we're going to be following for the rest of the week here on the CBS Evening News. But we do appreciate your viewership. But like I said, I mean, this is a story that we're going to really be following here as GoDaddy is continuing to censor websites. Now, as they do this, my question to GoDaddy and to all of you all watching is that, are they just going to start censoring conservative websites that do not follow their quote-unquote terms of service, that do not follow the narrative? So that's kind of my question for GoDaddy, is exactly, will they follow this narrative? Because to me, this is extremely unfair. This is not fair. If you go type in the website domain now, it actually just shows a 401 just error page on it. It's unclear if they're going to find a new host for this website, but I'm not exactly sure. But this is news that is definitely brewing here in Texas. So we're definitely going to watch that for you. So coming up on the CBS Evening, we're going to continue to talk about this as well, but we're going to talk about the latest news coming out of Afghanistan as the Taliban calls China a strong international ally. We're going to get into more stuff like that and more coming up after the break. You're watching the CBS Evening News live on CBSN. And welcome back to the CBS Evening News. I'm Michael Roberts, live here from New York. So, again, this is something we've been talking about all day, all evening here on the CBS Evening News. We're just talking about, we just got done talking about the abortion issue going on down in Texas. But right now, we want to go ahead and move into a bigger story that is brewing this evening regarding the Taliban, as they call China its trustworthy friend. Again, today, the Taliban in China has solidified their ties today, as a top official in the insurgents group has called the People Republic of China a trustworthy friend, as someone said in the Taliban's office in Doha, Qatar, said that the Taliban will work with its neighboring country to allow China to continue expansion in Iran, Iraq, and in Afghanistan. So, very interesting news going on here this evening. So, Zarda, joining me right now is CBS News correspondent and future journalist Zarda Vec. So, Zarda, thank you for joining me this evening. We do appreciate you coming on the show. It's been a long time no see for many of our viewers that have been here for the long haul. You guys remember Zarda. You guys remember him. You guys know who he is. But welcome, Zarda. So, Zarda, what do you think about this whole Afghanistan thing, right? People are comparing this to Saigon, Vietnam. You know, we're out now, or most of us are out. We still have people that are still there, technically, but you know, we're not. The media is not talking about that. So, exactly, what is the plan for Afghanistan after this? I mean, we're out now. I mean, a 20-year war is close to over. So, exactly, what do you think the plan is for us?
Michael, Afghanistan has been such a big issue, and it's been a very diverse and controversial issue as well. And as you said, Afghanistan is going to be the next Vietnam. We weren't, the people are blaming Biden, Trump, Bush, blah blah blah. I think all of them are partially to blame for this, especially Biden, with what recently just happened. He has the blood of 13 American soldiers on his hands. He left animals in Afghanistan. He left citizens in Afghanistan. If you heard the story, there's about a dozen California students, American citizens, left in Afghanistan. We left our Afghanistan allies. They're going to be murdered. They're going to be killed.
Yeah.
We left $85 billion for the Taliban. We left 2,000 armored vehicles, 40 aircraft, some Black Hawks, helicopters, blah blah blah. We left some gear, some goggles. We left that all for the Taliban. So now they're a very good and equipped force, and as you just said, China is now funding the Taliban, meaning that the Taliban, or I guess now Afghanistan, the new rulers of Afghanistan, they're going to be a new hostile state in the Middle East towards the United States. We weren't supposed to get in a 20-year war. We were just supposed to get our missions done. We were supposed to get our combat missions done. We weren't supposed to be nation building. That's the one thing that Joe Biden said that I agree with. However, his evacuation was just terrible, terrible. Michael. I was a Biden supporter, and I supported him over Trump. But the things he's been doing make me want Trump back more and more.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what many Joe Biden supporters really want now. They really want a true leader, and that was Donald J. Trump. But yeah, we couldn't tell Joe Biden supporters anything in 2020 because they were just so gun ho for this slow idiot named Joe Biden. But now we want Donald Trump back. But anyways, so like I said, we were leaving people behind. We're leaving students behind. We're leaving people that actually went to school in Kabul behind. We're not, honestly, in my opinion, I'm not sure the Department of Defense knows where these people are. I mean, do you think they know where these people are? I mean, do they even know where these people are in the country?
I don't know. Michael, our first priority should have been to get our citizens out. Not just our citizens, Michael. If you know, we actually left hundreds of dogs and cats in Afghanistan because, as you know, the military uses dogs and cats, service animals, and stuff like that. We left animals in Afghanistan that are going to be tortured by the Taliban. We left citizens. We don't know what's going to happen to them. We left documents in the embassy that tells the Taliban the Afghans that were helping us, the interpreters. So they're going to go after them. They're going to kill the animals. They're going to kill our civilians. They're going to kill the Afghan allies that helped us. But we just abandoned everybody. Our first priority should have been to get our citizens and our allies out and then safely get our troops out. So, I think it's really ridiculous. But, Michael, I do think that Biden's hands were tied with the evacuation because of the treaty with Trump and the Taliban. However, he could have executed it way better. And he got reports of ISIS-K attacks way before they were going to happen. He should have prepared, but he didn't. And he told civilians to leave the embassy, to leave the airport. It was just a big mess. And now the media is
Yeah.
playing this as a big success when it wasn't a big success. And nobody's talking about the people we left behind. Nobody's talking about it. This is an embarrassment, not just for the US, but for NATO, France, UK, etc. And we look like idiots right now, and China is profiting off of this.
Yeah. So yeah, I do definitely agree with everything you just said there. The media is not talking about the people that we left in Afghanistan. We left a lot of people in Afghanistan, actually. So like I said, I do definitely agree with everything you just said there. We left a lot of people in Afghanistan, and it's just a really bad situation what's going on there, and I'm not exactly happy with it. I don't think any American should be happy with it. So I definitely agree with everything you said there. But I mean, it's just a really tough situation, and it's just I hope things get better. I mean, but it just doesn't seem like they have much of a plan to fight ISIS K, to fight the Taliban right now. I mean, I guess once we leave, I guess, and it's kind of my final questions here before we switch segments here. I guess when we leave Afghanistan, we just want to let the Taliban control their own government, right? They're just going to be whole how they were before, post, I guess, pre 9/11, correct?
Sorry, can you repeat that last part?
Yeah, I get the Taliban. I get the government to Taliban Afghanistan once we all leave. We're all pulled out, whenever that is. It's just gonna go to return to, I guess, a pre 9/11 government.
You're just talking about Afghanistan?
Yeah.
I think it's too early to tell right now. But however, I do think that it's going to be a big problem for the U.S. I'm just glad that Iraq didn't turn out the same way as Afghanistan when we pulled out. But Afghanistan is obviously a bigger issue, and you have all of these militias and all of these terrorist organizations reemerging now that the U.S. is pulling out. Al Qaeda actually is reemerging, which is surprising. This ISIS variant is reemerging, and apparently there's some other organizations reemerging. And now that we gave them all of these, all of these weapons, in the late 1900s, we gave them weapons, and they used it to attack the World Trade Center. So we just gave them more weapons. What are they going to do now? So it's very important that we be careful and pay attention to what happens with this government. However, I don't know if we should really recognize the government right now. There's people saying that we shouldn't, but it's really inevitable that they've taken over. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I have my own mixed feelings about that. And I do definitely agree with everything you said there. But thank you, Zarda, for coming on. And we do appreciate what you have done for us. We do appreciate the work that you've done. We're definitely going to be hearing more from you, Zarda. We're going to also be seeing Zarda Vex sometimes on CBS this morning. We're also going to be seeing him on the weekends for the CBS Weekend News. You guys are going to really enjoy that as well. So be sure to stay tuned for the CBS Weekend News as well, coming up here on CBSN on Saturdays and Sundays. All right, coming up on CBS Evening News, we're going to continue to talk about Roblox issues, Roblox community issues, including the rise in the black dominational church community, as well as Roblox experimenting with video and voice chat. We're going to have all that and more coming up on CBS Evening News with Michael T. Roberts. And welcome back to CBS Evening News. Welcome back to the CBS Evening News. I'm Michael Smith. Thank you so much for joining me. All right, so we have more news to get to. So basically, our Roblox correspondent, our right hand man in Roblox News, John Mordos, is back with us here for the CBS Evening News to talk about some really crucial updates coming to Roblox, and this is really one that I'm really excited about. Roblox voice chat in game is in development at Roblox. John, what do we have on this one?
Um, there's actually quite a bit of information that we're currently getting on this. As I sent you a video earlier about some more information on that, and we'll play that up here on the screen here in a little bit. So it turns out originally that they were going to originally have the set age for Roblox voice chat to be 18. Now they're not doing that. Now they've set it back to where you can use it at 13 due to the fact they found someone who knows about the technology side of voice chat in games. They've got a sort of UI developer working with them now that knows how to build in a sensor system to this. And they're going to use that so people 13 and up can use it, not just people 18 and up. So it gives more people a chance to use it and not have to wait another 7 years or whatever
Yeah,
the case
definitely.
may be about their age.
Right. And we wanna see that on Roblox. I definitely agree with what you're saying. But like I said, voice chat is in development at Roblox, and we're definitely watching this story because this is one that people have been really rooting for. This is one that people have really wanted for a very long time. So I'm really glad that people are finally going to get what they wanted. People are finally getting what they asked for. So, like I said, I'm very glad to hear this. This is again a very really one that has really been in development for a long time, and I know I'm very excited about it. Many of you all should be very excited about it. It's a very exciting time at Roblox, and many people
Me,
are very excited about it as well. But continue. Go ahead.
With me, I have mixed opinions on it. Where I've been on the platforms for so long, it's just like, what is this? Why are we doing this? It's something new. Like, it could completely flop the platform because, we all know how people are. We've got plenty of trolls on this platform. You probably run out into one at least
Yeah.
once a day. Like, let's be factual here. Come on.
Right.
Go into a tycoon, you'll probably see one. Go into some sort of restaurant or role play sort of community, you're gonna see one. Chances are, if you've
Right.
been on here for at least a week, you've probably definitely seen at least one troll.
Right.
So with that being said, like, people are gonna obviously try and bypass the system of cursing and being racist and whatever rules they may have on this. People are gonna try and bypass it. But, like, what are they gonna do? People are already gonna see the word, and they're gonna get away with it for a while probably, compared to using the chat and bypassing it that way. Like, they're gonna be able to get away with it probably a little bit longer. So this is a pretty dangerous step for the platform, as well as it is a good thing.
I do understand where you're coming from. Is that you have certain parents that might think it's not a good idea. You have certain people that might use it for bad will, which I do understand where you're coming from that perspective. It could doom the platform. I do. I'm not saying it would doom it, but I'm not sure it would be for the better either. But it's just I have mixed feelings about it as well. I'm excited, but then again, it is a scary thing because you just don't know, and it's kind of hard to predict exactly what would happen in this case, and I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know, I don't know how to answer that
Yeah,
question. So it's
hard
very
telling unless we actually
go
work
ahead.
within the
Yeah,
development part. It's hard to really tell unless you work within the development
it is. It's
department of
extremely
Roblox.
hard to
It's
tell.
really hard.
Yeah, it is, and it's just
But what I'm
yeah.
hoping, if this reaches out to some Roblox admin, hopefully it does, because I'd like them to take this in as an input, as an idea. Please make it where some people that don't really want to hear all that cursing and yelling and screaming into their mic, cough cough 12-year-olds on this platform. Please make it where people like me can turn it off. Like, I don't wanna hear all that screaming and screeching. I hear enough of that on Discord. Come on now.
Exactly. It's gonna be a lot of, people packing each other and all things like that. But I think something that I'm also concerned about with this one is Roblox going to record my voice and decode it for bad words? And I guess, and the other thing is, how is Roblox going to be able to regulate people using bad language in voice chat? I mean, how are they going to be able to do that, in your opinion, John? I mean, I
I
don't know. I
mean,
mean,
are
this
we
is just a
gonna get the
backlog we're
same
having
sort
here.
of punishment? They're gonna record our voice for so long, then they're gonna build it into the system, and then it's gonna automatically detect cuss words and automatically ban us for 7 days? Maybe that'll be something that happens later on with this?
Kind of assume that's kind of how it's going to. I think that's kind of the only way it really can go in
Like,
that
how are they
case.
gonna punish us? Like, that's the major question.
I just don't know. I really don't know. And that's something that I'm not sure how they're going to stop people
Like,
from
there
sharing
has to be
sharing personal
Yeah,
details,
right.
sharing that. I mean, people are going to share that. People that online date, people that do that. I mean, people are going to do that. And it's
Yeah.
going to be, I mean, their thing, it specifically says no online dating. People are going to online date with voice chat. So, I
People do that regardless.
Right, exactly. I mean, regardless, without voice or no voice, it's gonna be online dating. Exactly, and that's
You
kind of the point here. Exactly.
I mean, like, go on Adopt Me, go on Greenville, Bloxburg, any of them role play big community games, you're gonna see an online dater. 9 out of 10 times,
Yeah,
you're gonna see an online dater.
yeah. 9 10, you're gonna see online dating definitely. But like I said, I mean, this is one story that your department has really been
And that's
following here at CBS because I mean, it's a big story, really.
the
It's a
sad
story.
thing
Yeah.
is the the sad thing is they say that it's in the rules, but it's not really enforced.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
now it's just gonna get a whole lot worse with voice chat. I mean,
Mhm.
now people are gonna be able to easily have more of a better idea on how to bypass, say, numbers and stuff, and,
Yeah.
well, expect a 80-year-old man at your house, I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
This is gonna be bad for the first while of this, I can already detect it.
Yeah. I can smell it in the air. I just detect a lot of things in the air. I'm not exactly sure
Yeah.
how I feel about this one, but this is going to be one that we're going to have to see play out. And this is one that CBS is definitely going
Yeah.
to be following for you. So thank you so much, John, for following this for us. We do appreciate all that you've been doing for us. But I know there's another other news coming out of Roblox, so I just kind of want to go through that real quick for the viewers that are here for some of our Roblox outlooks and takes here. What other news do we have this evening on Roblox? Because I know it's really a really crowded news day. I know coming from the Roblox community, especially with that voice chat news, because that voice chat news has just really been taking people off of their feet there. But um, and actually, from what I'm hearing in my mic piece, that the admin is actually talking about training an AI to pick up inappropriate language and automatically censor it. But that's just
Right.
the news that we've got in our earpiece, but we'll see. But any other news that we
Yeah.
have, because I know it's a real packed news day in your department, but what else do we have this evening, John?
That's some of the primaries for
Right, because I
sure.
know we have the main
Uh,
verse starting on the 6th, and that's again starting in the next few days, but definitely. And there's going to be people that are kind of asking, what do you guys think about VC? And, it, I don't know, but, it's definitely going to be a interesting
as we
topic to
know,
say the
though,
least.
Roblox has went away from events. It seems like there are not gonna be any more of those.
Yeah, it's time to move away from that, but definitely. So, all right. Well, thank you so much, John.
Yeah.
We appreciate all that you've been doing for us, but thank you for taking your time out of your evening to be with us this evening. But thank you so much, John. Well, coming up on
Yep.
the yep, thank you. Coming up on the CBS Evening News, some of our final thoughts. And John, you can stay if you want to, but I'll probably continue with my final thoughts. Thank you, John, for coming. We're going to talk about my final thoughts on the week's news and Friday Fun Day and Friday Follies coming up on CBS Evening News. All right, so we are back here live on the CBS Evening News. Thank you all so much for joining us for our first episode here on the CBS on CBS News on CBSN here on Roblox. Our goal here at CBSN is to bring you a conservative view of politics, a politics that is not very much covered here on the Roblox platform. But we thank you for joining us this evening, and we thank you for taking time out of your busy Friday evening to spend some time with us here at CBS. But let's go ahead and get into our final thoughts and our Friday follies. So something I want to talk about, my final thoughts on the Texas abortion case. First off, I want to congratulate pro-life activists for their stunning, shocking win in Texas with abortions being banned after 6 weeks. I fully stand for this. I believe that these protests are it's just a bunch of crap. I mean, it's just they won't protest for things that are actually happening. For example, when a black police officer was killed by thugs in the street last year, David Dorn, nobody knows his name. They weren't out there protesting for Black Lives Matter. They don't protest for Black Lives Matter or any of this abortion things when it's the other side, when it's the right side, when it's police, when it's anybody else, when it's, not affecting them, they won't go out and protest. What about the thousands of black babies that are killed in the womb year after year, but we won't hear Black Lives Matter for that? See, that's the hypocrisy that the left and the media will try to feed you. Do not fall into that. And I will not fall into that. I won't let you fall into that here on the CBS Evening News because it's a bunch of crap. They won't go out in the street and they won't do that for what needs to happen. They won't do it. That's the problem in America. So I think it's a double standard. It's a double standard every day for people on the right. And people like you that are watching, it's a double standard every day, and we need to stop the double standard. It's a problem and it needs to be stopped. Because, see, the problem is black babies are the #1 population of children that are aborted yearly. Black lives matter. Black lives do matter. That's right, they do matter. So if they matter, since they do, so we're going to cut down the abortions. That means more black babies are living, more black children are surviving in the womb, and the black community is flourishing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. So if black lives really do matter to these liberals, then this abortion law should just be water under the bridge. They shouldn't even be out there protesting. They shouldn't even be out there waving their fist and pumping your fist and doing all that, blocking traffic. They're blocking traffic on the freeways. They're preventing people to get to work. This is just mass hysteria going on in the streets of America, the streets of Austin tonight, and it's probably going to go on for the rest of the weekend. So I will call my boss and let them know that I can't get into work right now because protesters are blocking my way to get to work. That is just insane. So this is the double standard we're living with in America now. Secondly, Joe Biden has yet to come up with a plan about how we're going to get out of Afghanistan. I don't know how. I mean, he just seems to really be stumbling on this, okay? He seems to not be able to take multiple questions. When he was asked a question about Afghanistan at a FEMA press briefing just a few days ago, he slammed his binder and he said he won't be taking any questions on that right now. If Donald Trump did anything like that, the media will be all over it. But Joe Biden did it and the media has barely talked about it. ABC, NBC, and the rest of them only talked about it for 2 minutes, while the rest of the media only talked about it for less. It is fake news media, and it's just absolutely insane. The double standard is every day for us, and we need to stop the double standard. Now, there are people that are trying to fight for rights. There are people trying to fight for freedom of speech. Really, our constitutional rights are under attack, and we need to stop them from being under attack. But folks, that is my final thoughts for this evening. Thank you all for watching CBS Evening News. I'm Michael Roberts, live from New York. Thank you all so much for joining me. I do appreciate all of you guys. I'm grateful for your viewership. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all back here on Monday for the CBS Evening News, live here from New York. Thank you for watching, and have a great Labor Day. See you on Monday. Bye-bye.